What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the top of the map in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Matreiuss. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin, under the nickname I Bring Life. His name is Shelty, the Snake Shelton, a ninja warrior auditionee, I believe you could refer to him as, because a bit of trivia, he does have a ninja warrior video out there, which is very, very good. You should check that out. I'm not sure exactly how you find it, but maybe Shelty the Snake Ninja Warrior or something like that. Google that in the old YouTubes and you might be able to find it. It's very, very good. Anyways, without further ado, this is a part of the meta plays. Some context. Meta plays monthly number 9. Shelty comes back and plays very, very irregularly. This guy is one of the strongest Age of Mythology players to have ever played the game. And he comes back, no practice, and whoops everyone. This is part of his MO. There are still the tippity top players who take games off of Shelty the Shelton. Snake the Shelton. You know what it is. So, very, very, very strong player in his own right. So all that being said, what's going to happen in this game? What has happened in the past has been a 1-to-1 series. This is game number 3 of the series. Shelty takes one game, Matreiuss takes another game. Now, you cannot play the same god if you won with said god. So, Matreiuss won, I believe, with his Poseidon. And I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think that Shelty got his win with Set. I could be wrong. So now we see Shelty going in with the Odin and Matreiuss going in with the Zeus on the map Arctic Craters. And you know what's Arctic Craters? Because there's these big craters. If you've never seen this map before, it is part of the Keen Flame random map kind of bonus content DLC, free DLC. Not endorsed by Ensemble Studios or Microsoft, though one of his maps is actually in the official extended edition release. So there you go. You too could be an official Age of Empires 4 map creator with enough hard work and dedication. Did I say 4? Age of Mythology map creator? Probably get an Age of Empires 4 map creator. Anyways, this map here, the unique part about it is these big dips in the craters. What it means essentially is that well, actually, let's take a step back. In Age of Empires 2, there was a mechanic known as elevation that came in, and if you were to shoot from an elevated surface, it didn't matter how far the elevated surface was, you would get a huge bonus modifier. Now, in Age of Mythology, that bonus modifier is actually still here, but you just don't notice it as much. So it's a 0.25 bonus modifier. So it's not huge either, but the reason you don't notice it is because you need a gigantic amount of elevation to see the actual bonus. And that is what these cliffs are set to. So if there are Toxoides sitting up here, shooting down here, you will see the bonus. It's a very, very cool mechanic. And we don't get to see it very often in these Age of Mythology games because of how ridiculously high it's set. So continuing on, we'll see what's actually happening in this game. We've got the Hermes, we've got the Freya. So no surprises there. I do actually think the Zeus players are going to have a lot more success going through Athena here because it's high hunt. It's a big map though, so maybe not the best idea. Anyways, apparently there was a hill bonus in AoE 1 as well. There you go. The more you know, the smarter you become. I'm going to hold that as absolute fact there and always be quoting that fact. And if I am incorrect, we can all remember this moment. The moment that 360 Melon Z did indeed come in and say that he thinks that there was a heal bonus in AoE 1. So it's on him. It's not on me, but I'm a believer. All right, moving onwards and upwards. There are tons of relics on this map. We've got the tail of Cerberus. We've got a black lotus there. That relic's huge. We've got Harmonious Necklace. That's an also great relic. We've got the Bridle of Pegasus over in the top left corner. And in the right corner here, we do have the Eye of Ornlu, giving the bonus counter infantry damage. Matreiuss coming in with the early Sylvan Lore, but he does get his Centaur out first. I'm not sure exactly why he didn't send them forward. So the idea here with the early Centaur from Zeus is you want to advance really fast. If you can get a 4-minute advance, you go for a 4-minute advance and you immediately send your first Centaur forward. You build a second Centaur, you get your Jason, you get your Odysseus, and you run in, and then you get Sylvan Lore because you can easily run away from the Hersa. You bolt the Valkyrie. There is no real problem here. But as this game is continuing, these Centaur are very, very slow, and they take their time to get over here. But he's going to come in and he is going to start shooting some of those juicy arrows at the villagers and probably get a villager kill here. Very, very close. He's going to have to retreat away. The Hersa, a little bit too scary, as the raiding cavalry do end up getting a little bit of a shank there, slowing them down. So we see the Jason turning around, going to get some attacks. The Valkyrie sitting off here on the side. Another way to try and use your Valkyrie a little bit is to keep her in reserve to heal up your early game Hersa that going to take some damage so that you don't just immediately lose that to the bolt. But then you might get bolted on your Frost Giant a little bit later, which might be a little bit worse. And now look at this. You could send the Odysseus over here, get that elevation bonus onto those dwarves. We are seeing the Centaur trying to get in here and get some damage done, but they are not able to just yet. Pulling back here, we do see double stable from Matreiuss. That is a very, very wild decision there. And obviously the idea here for Matreiuss is the map is huge and he's not going to be able to make the hoplites work, which is probably a good assessment of the situation. No matter how much I say that that Hippocon have no use in this matchup, they do have a little bit of a use nonetheless. Anyways, we do see the Centaur Polemark getting a little bit of damage done here, but those Hersa doing very, very nicely. I love the way in which Matreiuss is getting Hippocon or other units to target the Hersa down to slow them down so that the Centaur can get away from him. But bit of a miss marker there. First blood being drawn on those Centaur for Shelty, but a couple more units are falling down here. We do see the Centaur or the Odysseus turning around, trying to finish off said Hersa, but another shot does get down there onto the Centaur, and Matreiuss is still trying to make this push in. But in reality, what he should be doing is not necessarily going for big fights, but just picking one unit off at a time. As we see with the Centaur, that is, as we see the raiding cavalry of Shelty has found a whole bunch of Matreiuss villagers here. Forest Fire would be huge, and he does cast the Forest Fire. That's going to be so many dead villagers, but he doesn't get the path blocked there, and a couple more villagers will get out. Will he be able to pick them off? That is so disheartening there. I thought he was going to get that path block, but he doesn't end up managing to. But he does get a whole bunch of villagers kills nonetheless. While this is going on, Shelty is pushing forward here, coming onto these Centaur as best as he possibly can. The final Hersa does fall down, but that still means that Matreiuss has to pull back as there's too many of these raiding cavalry here ready to push in. We do not have the Thundering Hooves upgrade just yet for Shelty. He's got 755 wood in the bank. What is he doing with all that wood? Get onto these chicken, get onto these goat. There is a Black Lotus here, which is the bonus farming upgrade. It's essentially one of the few relics which allows the classical age of most civilizations to prosper. Normally, there's a big weakness to staying in the classical age in that you don't have access to irrigation. But if you get that extra 10% bonus food gather rate, it allows you to stay in the classical age for a lot longer and not have the weakness that does come from not having irrigation. So we might be seeing some farms coming down from I Bring Life from Shelty a little bit soon here. So we see the raiding cavalry wandering in here as Matreiuss trying to defend this one as best as he possibly can. So we see the raiders retreating away. Run away. Run away. Nice one. We'll see another snipage here from Shelty. The game is looking fairly even at this point. I'm still feeling like Matreiuss is not active enough with his centaur. Right now, I swear, if I was playing this game, I would have centaurs attacking me here, centaurs attacking me here, centaurs here, centaurs here, and it would just be a nightmare. I'd be losing villagers left, right, and center. But for some reason, Matreiuss is not doing that in this game, and these raiders are going to be running rings around the Hippocon, especially now that they do have that Thundering Hooves upgrade, which keeps them alive for a lot longer because they get the bonus HP, but also that speed, extra 10% speed, so they go up to 6.6 speed instead of just 6.0 speed. So they go zoom zooms. And as the map is so big, it's going to be tough to hold. So one thing you can do here is get watchtowers and get crenellations so that the raiders can't really just run into your base too easily without losing their lives. And now we finally see the centaurs, and Matreiuss has got map hacks. Very quiet. Town center coming up now for Shelty. That is so lucky, as I think Matreiuss knows that this is how Shelty plays. Shelty's got this play style of just not caring. He just runs right into the corners of the map, completely exposed villages, and I think Matreiuss is fairly aware of that. But he just barely misses it. He even finds this goat so close to that location. And we do see the raiders moving in. Still no watchtowers up for Matreiuss. That is a bit of a mistake, to be honest. He could have got that earlier and then protected his base very easily. And now the centaur returning back over here, going to start getting a little bit of that damage in onto this position here, as Matreiuss is dropping down from 115 of 115 pop down to 75 pop, as Shelty is 130 population right now in a very good position. We see Spirited Charge coming through now by Matreiuss to help him out in these fights a little bit, getting an extra 10% damage, kind of levels the playing field, getting that extra HP. Speed also helps out a ton as well. We're starting to see the throwing axeman wandering in here. A huge advantage right now for Shelty. We'll see if he can convert it. He's got 2 town centers. He can kind of do whatever he wants here. The farm's coming up. Still not getting that relic. A Black Lotus is hurting my brain just a little bit here, as the centaur retreating away. You're going to see the Ursa trying to get on top of them. Does manage to snipe one that's been retreating away. Nice play there from Shelty, picking off another one. Gets another couple of thwacks off. This centaur dodging the axes like Neo dodges bullets. And he does, and they do get away there with their lives. But at this point, Shelty is just happily sitting under the town center of Matreiuss, still 126 of 130, nearly 130 pop, picking villagers off left, right, and center. These villagers over here trying to get the gold mine, and Shelty forces the ceasefire in this position. An incredibly smart play here from Shelty. Now he can pull back. Now he can go heroic age, and now he has access to a very brutal frost timing or Njord timing. It doesn't really, I actually think that Njord here would be game ending, because you can actually just push in and take the town center down very quickly. But it is seemingly looking like Shelty is not trying to go to the next stage. He's got a lot of buildings, still building units, and he is at full population, so not trying to go to the next stage might be a bit of a mistake. Once you're ahead, get more ahead. So the ways in which you get ahead, generally speaking, aren't more army. If you've already got army and you're ahead on the army, getting more army doesn't tend to help. More so getting access to getting access to the technology or more town centers is a much easier way to get ahead in this game. But at this point, watchtowers are up, and Shelty's deciding to pull back. I'm not sure he needs to, especially because he's spending all of his resources, but it is looking like he's going to think about getting a town center here, which is completely fine. We just see, oh, the centaur have found those stray villagers. He manages to find them. Shelty's classic corner hunting strategy has been thwarted. We see the raiding cavalry returning back over here. Town center is coming up very, very slowly. I wouldn't be so mad about this town center if he had Black Lotus, but he hasn't picked it up. So I would be like, heroic age here is just a simply better, because it just is. But he didn't go for it. Anyways, you see the Hippocon coming in for Matreiuss. He does have the spirited charge, so they're speedy. But the town center is up, and now Shelty can go up to 145 of 145 population if he so chooses, but the centaur, very low HP. Going to be looking for some more villager snipes. We do have some decent farms getting thrown up here by Shelty. He does have himself plow, but still, no. Makes me sad. Anyways, continuing the fight here. A big advantage on the in the population situation here for Shelty, but I would say he doesn't have enough military buildings to keep this spam up. He's got a lot of resources potentially in the bank, but he can't really keep the spam up, and he's not trading all too efficiently here in these fights, and this is going to allow Matreiuss to do Matreiuss things, I am sure. Get the raids happening. It's going to be a difficult time for Shelty as his army does drop to a very small number of units here on the front, and this is one of the problems that Shelty has, and he does this a lot with the Loki and with the Thor and with the Odin, but he just sits on those initial military buildings and doesn't get more military buildings to spam more. So look at all these resources in the bank. Could be all into military units, but he just doesn't have those. But he does move over onto these ball here. And honestly, Matreiuss is probably doing this. Like if I'm on Matreiuss' perspective, he's probably checking out, oh, there's going to be villagers here. There's no more villagers over there. No worries. He's not there. He's not there. Taking that time when he wants to go and go for a raid or something like that. But the Valkyrie are out now. They're going to start being able to take down these centaur fairly easily here. There's only 2 heroes, so they take a long time to deal with this. And we see that Matreiuss still continuing to take these fights fairly nicely, as now Shelty has dropped down to 101 population. Somehow, some way, Matreiuss isn't that far behind on the villager count. It's 3 town centers to 1 town center, and Matreiuss is only behind by about 10 or 15 villagers, and he's going to be losing, and Shelty's going to be losing a whole bunch here, so it's going to be even closer on the villager count as this game continues. Now the Hippocon coming forward, taking those throwing axemen out, and I mean, Shelty has still got this food over here. I'm sure we're going to start seeing raids onto everywhere. There's no walls up for Matreiuss, and Matreiuss, he knows. Look at this bad boy. He knows. He's very well aware that there is hunting going on as the Hippocon wandering in here. This is going to be a lot of pain. Actually, it looks like he's just going for the gold mine, but he does instead find villagers, and the villagers are going to turn around, take a little bit of a fight here as Shelty trying to get back up his villagers. It's probably not a bad idea to make Ulfsark here, to be honest, even though he is Odin, so he can get those Lone Wanderer Ulfsark as well in order to deal with the Hippocon and get himself a little bit of pressure relieved. Meanwhile, on this position, Shelty losing villagers left, right, and center, and no more gold income. There is potential for a gold staff here as well, but a couple of units coming over here to defend against those Hippocon here. The villagers will be able to jump onto this gold mine, it seems, and Shelty going to be retreating back up into his town center here. We've got the gold mine situation coming up for Matreiuss. He's still only on the first. Oh, he's got 4 stables. He probably should get a couple more down, thinking about getting a second town center at some point as well. We do see this army coming through for Matreiuss. There are a whole bunch of those Valkyries here, but with Odysseus coming in, the special ability of those centaur coming through as well to immediately target down the Valkyries very, very quickly. Super smart to get that to happen here. And we will be seeing Matreiuss dealing with those throwing axemen very, very nicely. Meanwhile, over here, this Hippocon going to be able to retreat away, keep its life intact. We see those dwarves back onto this gold mine over here. The village is going to be trying to make a retreat here, but the centaur do come in and are going to start sniping some villagers here as well, as they will not get back to safety. There are 3 ox carts on this position here for Shelty, so you can't just pick off the ox carts. But now the Hippocon going to swing around and pick off even more villagers of Shelty. And now we're going to be seeing a heroic age as well as a second town center going up for Matreiuss. He is motoring ahead in this game, and he has somehow, some way managed to bring himself back into the game at such a vicious rate that now he is well and truly ahead. He's almost got more villages. He's got the tech advantage. The only thing he's lacking in here is town centers. He's about to get a second one, and he's going to be able to take down one of these town centers very, very easily. We are seeing all of Shelty's units trying to make themselves useful here, getting into a big ball of units, but he's still making those throwing axemen against those Hippocon. It's not that the throwing axemen are necessarily bad against the Hippocon, but once those Hippocon are super speedy, they don't do all too well, to be honest, against those Hippocon. And we are seeing the Hippocon trying to run straight past the army, but Shelty does manage to find that and push them back. He has got it back up to that 145 of 145 population. Meanwhile, over here, the Hippocon coming in will take down a couple of these throwing axemen as the army of Shelty going to be returning in here. We do have the heroic age now popping for Matreiuss. You can get an immediate heavy cavalry here as we see an armory coming up. Will we see that immediate heavy cavalry or not is the question. We just see the army turning around trying to snipe down those Valkyrie with those centaur, but the centaur are falling here very, very quickly to the Valkyrie, to the raiding cavalry, and this is going to be very, very nice here for Shelty. But we do see the heavy cavalry coming through. The Hippocon going to come in, potentially try and take down that ox cart. So we see the Jason getting sniped down very quickly there by those throwing axemen, and it's looking like Matreiuss has to retreat here. 122 of 130 population. This lone Manticore is going to do tons of damage to the gatherers that are getting pulled back. Going to jump into the town center, maybe return over onto a different wood line. We're still seeing those throwing axemen trying to do what they can do, but against a Manticore, against those potential heavy Hippocon that are going to be coming in, there is no way to keep fighting here, it seems, as Shelty retreating back. He still has the villager advantage, and he has managed to click up through Skadi here in this game. This game is going to be continuing. Very, very close, though. There is potential for an underworld onto this back town center here to grab this one as well for Matreiuss to level the town center playing field. Matreiuss, I wouldn't be surprised to see him get to the heroic age or the mythic age very, very soon. Double Manticore out here for Matreiuss as well to clean up those throwing axemen very, very quickly. Very smart to do this. You very rarely get to see the Zeus in the heroic age, but what Matreiuss is doing is absolutely correct here. In this situation, we see the dwarves, the villagers getting pulled back. Matreiuss spots them going to be picking off even more villagers. There's still only a 10-12 villager advantage here for Shelty, but the villagers are getting taken down very quickly as they are running for their lives, and this is leveling the playing field in the economy even more as we do have a whole bunch of stray villagers up in this top corner. Can jump onto this gold mine, be very sneaky, but Matreiuss, he is going to be going Artemis. I guarantee, not Artemis, he's going to be going Hera. I pretty much guarantee you here, though maybe Hephaestus isn't a bad idea. But going Hera and continuing the pain onto Shelty as much as he can, just continuing to raid here in this game. We're starting to see some walls get thrown up for Matreiuss, trying to control his side of the map, prevent himself from getting raided. And these villagers are all on top of this gold mine right now. And they're really the only way forward here for Shelty is to stop losing villagers, get that mythic age, and we do see Hera is the god of choice here for Matreiuss. I don't think there is that much of a surprise there. He wants to continue the pressure and getting access to those Medusa, getting access to the Bellerophon is going to be so vitally important. Taking this fight here so good. Picks off the Ox card as well, so those villagers are going to be long distance mining. We see the Hippocon attacking this position over here as well. Villagers all getting picked off. Now Shelty is lower than Matreiuss in the villager count. We see the quarry coming through, copper mail coming through. Shelty 137 of 145 pop, Matreiuss 118 of 130 population. And the heavy Hippocon returning back onto the scene here to try and take this town center down. And the Manticore's going to be picking off these Ulfsark as best as they can. The villagers making their way over here. And we do see a frost forced here. This is not the type of frost you really want to be using if you are Shelty, but it is close to the town center, so if lightning storm does come in, it's going to be a bit of an issue. And we see Matreiuss say, hey, I want to kill the town center. I'm going after it. The villagers wandering in here. Is he going to start shanking or not? It looks like he's scared of the heavy raider going elsewhere. But the villagers have spotted each other on that position. Over here, plenty of villagers getting this gold income. 69 villagers apiece, Lamau. And this one coming in here for Shelty. There goes the lightning storm onto this position. We see Shelty immediately making a break for the town center. He does manage to get a couple of throwing axes in here, so not going to be losing all of them. It seems. Meanwhile, the Hippocon coming over onto this location here, going to be taking down some villages as well, and the town center will indeed fall after this position does unfreeze from the frost. The frost giant here waddling away as the Manticore getting that big damage done, but deciding to refocus there onto those throwing axemen as the heavy Hippocon coming in. We see the villagers retreating away here, but they are all going to be losing their life as the retreat path is very, very far. And we also see the polar bear getting into the action, saying, I want to help. I want to kill villager. Let me eat villager. And now Shelty moving up to the top side. We see champion cavalry coming in for Matreiuss as well. I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing some barracks getting thrown down, as kind of the only way you lose this game is a very big Ragnarok that potentially comes through. But Shelty is so far away from that. We do see a lone Odysseus coming in, sitting right underneath the hill fort here. And we see the underworld passage coming in from Matreiuss. Not going to allow this mining operation to continue. Completely gold cutting Shelty at this point. There is no gold mines getting gathered from here. We see the army coming through for Shelty. He does have access to the frost giants. We've got that Medusa in here. Unfortunately, when you jump through the underworld, it does count as a garrison, which means your units lose their special ability. So Matreiuss's Medusa is going to have to wait that 20 seconds, and does indeed do so, and does manage to pick off one of those frost giants there, as we see the frost giant moving over here to freeze said Medusa to try and take that one down. The villagers returning back onto this gold mine, but Shelty has got no resources remaining. 60 villagers in the bank, currently gathering, but 0 gold basically here. 98 population. Matreiuss is 127, 145, getting Olympic parentage as well, and we might start seeing some of those brutal Bellerophon raids if he's ever going to decide to get Bellerophon out. And in that moment, Shelty does tap out. What a comeback here from Matreiuss. The big mistake, in my opinion, was after the ceasefire, Shelty just simply needed to go heroic age. You get heroic age, you get the frost giants, you put more pressure on. You can go Njord, you can go for Njord, you can go for Skadi. Finish the game in that point, could have been fine. But honestly, it was just outclassing after that ceasefire. Making throwing axemen was a big mistake from Shelty. He should have got a ton of farms. He had this relic as well, so he could have had plenty of food, continue making raiding cavalry, get some Ulfsark out as well. He is Odin, so you get the lone wanderer. Ulfsark could have been completely fine to continue fighting, but Matreiuss just on the economy as soon as he was able to, and Shelty does end up losing in this game as Matreiuss gets to move on to the next round. I do believe those games are yet to come here, so hopefully they get some good ones. And you should go and check out the Matreiuss YouTube channel and the Matreiuss site if you want to see what tournaments they're doing. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.